are you guys? Nice to have you. Pleasant little song for you. Hope you feel good. Can you guys hear me? Do we have the audio on? How are you guys? Excellent. Yes, we do. A lovely Friday to you. A very special live, exclusive live, extra live. We had the big celebration of Video Plus, and so we didn't have a chance to really chat and me answering all your questions. And there were some really interesting posts recently in Rockstars about the market, about the conditions, about you not being where you want to be. And so I figured if I'm going to enjoy my lovely noon coffee as I always do, why not chat to my favorite peeps, to my compañeros, to you people, and chat about real estate and some ideas and marketing and generating leads and having a good time and kumbaya, having a lovely weekend, pick up some business, enjoy life. That's what we're going to do. I love this stuff. Life is better with good coffee. Don't you agree? Don't you think so? Mr. Kenneth, good to have you. Good afternoon to Beth. Am I ever going to play the guitar? I will. Not today, but I will. This is one of my favorites. I have a couple, but this is a good old Fender. And I do know how to play poorly, horribly. I haven't played in a while, and it's out of tune, so we're not going to do it today. But I have an amp, I have the whole thing. So I promise you, Beth, that one day, soon, I will have to get back into it. I stopped rehearsing, stopped practicing. And as you guys know, if you stop, for those of you who play guitar, you need to develop calluses, you need to develop thicker skin, so your skin gets used to the metal strings that the electric guitar uses. And I stopped, and now my fingers are really soft and it hurts like a motherfucker. So I'm not going to do it today, but I will get back to it. I promise. Now that the Video Plus is out there, the baby has been born, I can do other stuff. I can have more fun and actually enjoy life a little. I actually ordered my gift. Oh, I'm going to tell you all about it. I'm so excited. Anyway, so yes, I will play for you. I promise within short amount of time. I don't want to commit to anything, but I promise I will. Okay? Hey, Mr. Derek, good to have you. Yeah, just like real estate. Exactly. If you do it, that's a really good analogy, Keith. I really love that analogy. In order for you to play guitar well, several things need to happen. First, of course, you need to enjoy it. When I was a little kid, my parents forced me, you got to practice, and they got me like a private lessons and shit, and I hated it because I was forced to it. And so, of course, sooner or later I quit. Well, sooner than later. But now, I'm getting older and I really enjoy it, playing some tunes. Hannah loves it when we sit upstairs with a glass of wine and I would serenade to her, so it's fun. But the secret is enjoy it and practice. And like Keith pointed out really well, the skin will get thicker and you will play better and you will enjoy it more and it will hurt less. It's always going to be a little bit of a challenge, but once you practice and do it over and over, you develop a certain resistance to the softness, if you will. I don't have a better word, but that's a really good point. That's exactly what it takes. Hey, Mr. Anthony, good to have you. Jake checking in. Jake says, yes, real estate agents need thicker skin. I very much agree with that, Jake. This business is not for soft skin, for softies, for introverts. Writing blogs all day, sitting at home. I don't like people. I swear, I get these emails sometimes. Borino, I want to be successful, but I don't like people that much. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing in real estate? This is a people business. We have the tools. This is one of the most powerful tools, your smartphone. You can text, call, create emails, send pictures, respond to text. It's phenomenal. But you got to be a people person, for crying out loud. You can't be a hermit sitting at home. Come on. It is a people business. You got to enjoy being with people, talking to people, helping people. And I'll give you this. Some people we encounter are certifiably, psychologically, pathologically, mentally ill. I hear you. And I read some of your stories and I reply to some of them. We sometimes encounter the weirdos, the creeps, the psychos, the angry, the almost killers. You know what I mean? But here's the thing, and that's what I want to talk to you about today. If you live in a mindset of abundance, and if you follow certain simple principles and deploy certain systems, you will very easily accomplish several things. Number one, qualify those that just are having a hard time. Because not everybody is a psycho. There are just some people who don't do well under pressure and stress. And moving, buying a house, selling a house, it is very stressful for people. On top of that, making big financial decisions, negotiating, doing all the stuff that people normally don't do is a big deal to them. And not everybody has the stamina, the psychological stamina to deal with it. And who do they take it on? You, exactly. You're the closest victim. So they take. So be careful and distinguish between those that just are crumbling under pressure. Those you have to kind of nurture and help them and guide them, and it requires a lot of patience, love, and a lot of hand-holding. But there are some people who are just assholes and who use you as their punching bag because their life sucks, their spouse is fat, their kids are stupid, the car breaks down, their house is horrible, they're not making enough money, and they're seeing their life falling apart. And now you come in so they have an opportunity to take it out on somebody. And you as a rock star agent not only don't deserve that, you shouldn't be taking it, you should be saying, you know what, good luck to you, I'm out of here. I'm going to refer you to that $500 listing discount broker down the street. Good luck. So be distinct, be careful who you work with. Pick a clients who match your perfect client profile, who are nice, who are motivated, who appreciate you, and there are tons of them out there. There'll be over 5 million homes sold by the end of this year here in the US. Crazy amount of business out there. You got to get it, and that's what we'll talk about today. Groovy? I will answer your questions. Post them here in the comments. I'll be more than happy to talk to you. We have plenty of time. I'm in no hurry today. It's a lovely Friday, and I enjoy spending it with you. And I felt kind of bad because I do like to talk to you every Tuesday, but we had the launch. I had a lovely time with my friends Nick and Tristan at Lab Coats. We talked about expired listings. If you haven't caught that, catch it. It's a really good recording that we did, how to get expireds and FSBOs. But today we'll talk about what if you don't have a whole lot of them? What if the market is kind of crazy right now? There are not that many sellers. Things are drying out. How do you get that fish from the dry lake? What do you do? That's our topic today. I also wanted to show you, I love when you guys take action and do things when I tell you do this. This works really well. And that's a big chunk of you rock stars, where you don't just passively listen, you actually go out and do what I tell you to do. And it works really well. And it works well on me as well. So my man Patrick sent me a nice little thank you card. Very simple. With this business card, Patrick Adams, rockstar in Las Vegas. If you ever need help from a very competent, great guy, great agent. I had a privilege and chance to meet him in person. He came to one of my workshops. Real estate trained by Borino, trademarked. Total cool guy who will take care of your clients with the buyers and sellers. Send Patrick some referrals, and many others. Some of you are in Vegas, are awesome as well, but this is from Patrick because I talk about it. So I tell you, one of the most powerful, most impactful marketing pieces you can incorporate in your initial contacts and follow-ups are thank you notes. Here's a very basic, very simple one. But what makes this powerful is the message. This is not a template. This is not pre-written. This is not printed on it. There is no company logos on it. It's just a very kind, very pleasant human touch. Very powerful. Here's how powerful this is. I teach this shit. I understand all of that. I understand exactly why it's written in blue ink and why this works. It still touched my heart. I still appreciate it as a genuine gesture of appreciation. So what I would like you to do, either join Send Out Cards. It's really good. Sendoutcards.com/Borino. If you join them, I'm affiliated with them. I like them. There's a whole bunch of these, but you don't have to. Just go to your local Walmart or even Staples, pick a box of these, use them. Use every chance, every opportunity you have to send these out. You will touch another human being with a kind language, with a gesture of appreciation. We live in such a fast-paced, crazy, hectic world with so many noise and distractions and so many things bombarding us. So when another human being reaches out through all that noise without any big marketing intent, with just a few kind words of thank you, it makes a huge difference and a huge impact. And many of you have shared stories in the past how sellers said, man, this was like the greatest thing ever. Nobody's ever done that. People will really appreciate it. Not email, not text, handwritten, nice, from your heart, honest words of appreciation. Whether it's after a phone call, after an appointment, after a meeting, somebody did something kind to you, you want to express that, use these. Works like gangbusters. Cool? So incorporate them. Make sure they're always part of it. Look for opportunities to appreciate people because it happens also in a universal level. Because the more you appreciate, the more of what you appreciate shows up in your life. It's just a simple law of reciprocity and a simple law of attraction. You attract more of that. More kind people, more good people. And you appreciate them. You know, one of the biggest emotions I always had, and Hannah captured it beautifully by buying me this little bracelet. And I know you can't read it because the camera is too far and it's kind of shiny, but it says gratitude. I have so much gratitude and appreciation for your efforts, for what you guys do, for hanging out here at Rockstars, for becoming my clients, for getting the video plus, for asking questions and trusting my guidance, for hanging out with me every week here. I appreciate that very much. And I promise that I will give you my heart and my honest wisdom I can to make you better, to help you, to get you more business, help more clients, have a rockstar lifestyle. Groovy? All right, guys. Kim says, I just joined send out cards under you, Borino, sending out my first card today. Awesome, Kim. Please send me one. And I will show it on the next live. Please do share. That's awesome. It's really, really good. Reach out to me. Reach out to Gail. There's a whole bunch of people who are already on send out cards. We've done several sessions there on Listing University on send out cards, so do use it. It's a phenomenal tool. I really, really like it. Ooh, good question. Do you want to talk about it? Mr. Antonio Garcia, good morning, Sergeant Borino. Thank you for being here. My pleasure, Antonio. We are in the middle of boot camp. We actually started on Wednesday. That was really good. But here is a question that Anthony has. I promise, I have a whole bunch of notes that I want to get to what to do in a market that's very heavy seller market with shortage of listings, not enough expireds, not enough FSBOs. Things are kind of crazy. I'll give you plenty. But I do want to address Anthony. Here is why. Because the first thing here on top of my list, can you see it? It says mindset. And I hand wrote it there because as I was typing my notes, I'm like, oh shit, I forgot that. That's the most important part of it. That's the foundation on which we're going to lay out the whole thing. It says mindset. Can you talk about the mindset of abundance of those of us who aren't there yet? I'm going to start with a story. I was in the country for about 2-some years, originally from Czechoslovakia, as you know. And I lived at the time in Southern California in an area called Downey. It's a mid-cities area, part of suburbs of Los Angeles. And as a starting out immigrant, I had these big fancy dreams. I was hoping to become a big real estate guru, magnate, and own real estate and sell real estate and make a lot of money, drive a fancy limo and wear a 3-piece suit and wear Rolex and all that. 2 years in, I was renting a room in a house in Downey, California, and I got kicked out of that room because I was late on rent. And I became homeless, lived in a car. 2 things were happening at the same time on the mindset level. On one hand, I was so pissed off at myself that I let myself slip that deep and that things were not going well. And I blamed the world, I blamed this, I blamed that. I had all these stories in my head why I wasn't the success and the poster child of wealth and success of immigrants in America. Where is the American dream, goddammit, That was on one hand. On the other, I always knew, and I to this day carry that sense with me, that feeling, that at the end things will all work out. That at the end it's going to be all right. That at the end I will be able to figure it out. And I tell you why I thought that. I saw plenty of evidence around me of people who were doing it, doing well, making money. Now, mind you, I got my real estate license in 1989. Some of you were not born in 1989. Interest rates, 13, 14%, 40% of our inventory foreclosures. It was a nightmare market. You think it's challenging now? Ha! It's nothing. Child's play. I had sellers cry, literally cry, when I presented the CMA to them. The market was tanking. It was a disaster. And people who were in the business were looking at me, you just got your license? Oh boy. Oh, you're in for a roller coaster ride. And I was. And I didn't know it at the time. But that market trained me and showed me that if I can survive the worst, I'm going to be all right in the good one. Because it's all cyclical. And I was all right. But there was this sense within me, it's going to be all right. It's going to be okay. The student is ready. The teacher appears. And I had several teachers who have appeared throughout my life that helped me with the mindset. So the first thing as far as mindset, and I've done plenty of training. We have several sessions on mindset. So I'm not going to devote the entire session today to it, but just some of the nuggets that will help you. 1, identify the problem. And this will help you. 3 letters. Always remember these. What are your F, E, and B? Very important. It is the steering wheel, it is the guidance that's steering your life experience. FEB, it stands for focus, expectations, and beliefs. What do you focus on is what you feed energy to. What you focus on is what you're calling into your experience. What you talk about, what you think about, what you share on Facebook, all that focus is bouncing back right to you. Whether it's money, people, experiences, things, stuff, physical, metaphysical. What do you focus on? Be honest with yourself. It's impossible to get in the kitchen, bring a chicken in the kitchen, and cook a steak. Walk out with a steak dinner. What you put in is what you get out. So what you focus on is going to come back. The stories you read, the people you talk to, the news at 6 o'clock you watch, has all huge impact on your life experience. That's one. Two, what do you expect? What do you expect? You hear me say this in almost all my coachings. Expect money, expect good leads, expect nice people, expect success. You got to go in expecting that people will like you, they will appreciate you, they will pay you. Because if you don't trust yourself, if you don't believe in yourself, how in the world do you believe that a stranger would? You got to reset that computer first and reset your expectations. And the third one, and this was my biggest problem, this is what caused me to be homeless, was my belief. See, since I was about 3 or 4 years old, my lovely mother, who I love dearly, who is very successful, she's a diva, she's an actress and a singer, and she's doing really well, she's awesome. But because she grew up during Depression, during the war, World War II, she was a little child, she was taught money is hard to come by. That was the mantra, because money was really hard to come by. These were tough times. And so her mother, my grandma, sweet lady that she was, trying to protect the child and teaching her some life lessons, kept telling her, money's hard to come by. You better hold on to it. It's hard to come by. And of course, my mom, being trained and picking up all these beliefs from her parents, the most influential people in her life, passed it on to me. Now, she didn't want to do any harm. That was not a matter of her being stingy or restrictive or any of that. But these beliefs were deeply implanted in my subconscious mind. Here's the problem with your subconscious mind. Okay? Watch this. You, of course, know the term willpower. There are two parts to willpower. And forgive me for my poor artistic abilities, but picture this to be not a dildo, but a rocket ship. Okay? And it has two parts, this rocket ship. This is the vehicle that gets you to your goals, to your lifestyle, to your dreams, to your money, to your desires, to everything you want. You're traveling here. Now, this is the willpower. This is where the will is. This is the control center. This is where you sit. This is where you think. This is where you talk. This is the rational part of your being that rationally governs and controls your day-to-day decisions. However, notice the scale. It's this big. The real power of the willpower and the real steering and the real engine that drives all this is right here. This is your conscious mind. This is your subconscious mind. The beliefs, the focus, expectations, and beliefs are programmed right here. The trouble with your subconscious mind, it does not understand the logic. It does not speak a language. It doesn't understand numbers. It has no reasoning abilities. These are the worlds of images and emotions. This is your instincts. And this is what's steering you. Now, here's where the problem occurs, like in my case. My belief was that money is hard to come by. I logically wanted money. I wanted to be successful. I wanted to do well. I wanted to steer towards all the good stuff. But because there was a conflict between what I wanted consciously and the programming of my subconscious was steering me somewhere completely different, guess who won? The big, powerful engine always wins. Because here's the thing. There is no direct control between your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. It's not like you open the app on your smartphone and you start programming and you start changing and you start doing things. Not only that, you don't even know many times, like in my case, what the hell was there in the first place. Let alone did I know that it was steering me all the way to trouble and being homeless and all kinds of dark times that I had to go through. That's the problem with mindset. So, to troubleshoot this, number one, figure out, what are my expectations? What do I focus on a daily basis? And what do I really believe about money, success, wealth, real estate, and myself? And I had to do some soul searching and some evaluation and some really honest time with myself to really sort this out until I discovered money's hard to come by. That's what I believed. And so every time I had an opportunity to make a lot of money and make it easy, subconscious mind, doesn't match my programming, let's go somewhere else. Let's make it hard. Let's make it struggle, because that's the programming. And just like programming on your phone or in your computer will determine the outcome you're going to get, it's the same way with your conscious and subconscious mind. So discover first, uncover what is really going on. What programming is governing you? And here's the easiest way to figure it out. Where you are today, if you make a lot of money, if you're successful, or if you struggle and you have nothing, is a result of your focus, your expectations, and your beliefs you carry around. And you can tell stories, and you can explain it, and you can reason, you can do all kinds of stuff, and that's fine. That's your monkey brain trying to justify and explain and reason. But the reality is, your focus on expectations and beliefs programmed in your subconscious mind got you to where you are today. That's the bad news. The good news is, you can change it at any time. You have the freedom, because just like you got here today, you behind the wheel with that big ass engine behind you, you can start changing it. Now, some more bad news. It is impossible to change overnight, because you've built so much momentum. I had a sailboat in California. When I lived in California, we had a little sailboat, a little Catalina, 35 foot. And we would sail across the channel from Long Beach, California, from Marina Del Rey, California, to Catalina Island. It's about 24 nautical miles across. And our boat had to have a reflector, which is a metal object about this big, and had these flat panels like this. And it's on top of your boat. And the reason it's there is because you're crossing a very major shipping line, where you have these giant, big-ass ships hauling goods all the way up and down Pacific coast. The sailboat, we had a pretty big boat. You could comfortably, 8 people could have a lovely weekend on it. But compared to this big thing, we were tiny. So we had to have a reflector so the radar would pick us up. The reason for that is because these huge boats had so much momentum because of their weight, and they would have quite a bit of speed. They can't stop right away. They can turn right away. They're not as nimble. And the thing is, you're drinking your beer, you're on your sailboat, it's a lovely Friday afternoon, you're enjoying this gorgeous day in California, and you see this little speck of a boat, a big ship in the distance, and you're like, oh, look at that, they're all the way there. You're drinking your beer, you're playing some music, you're talking to your friends, next thing you know, there's this big-ass thing right on your ass. And I mean, it happens so fast, it's startling. I've been sailing since I was 12 years old. It still startles the shit out of me when you suddenly see this huge thing go by. So you gotta watch for it. Now, the reason I'm telling you all this is because these giant ships build a momentum just like you have built a momentum. That momentum has been built through your focus, expectations, and beliefs over the years. So for you to expect, okay, today, new me, doesn't work that way. Remember, your subconscious does not speak the language. It understands emotions and it understands images. It's a completely different world. It's like a little child that hasn't spoken yet. So because you have this momentum, you cannot just suddenly go, you know what I mean? Doesn't change right away. But little by little, you start steering it towards where you want to be. One of the best tools I'm going to give you to change it, something that helped me, among other things, reading books and going to workshops. I met Tony Robbins and I did all that stuff, was Vision Board. Because Vision Board bypasses all this logical stuff, all that noise and all the bullshit going on in your conscious mind, and speaks through images and emotions directly to the programming of your subconscious mind. And suddenly I was compelled to get a nice suit, to look a little better, to feel a little better. I would drive through nice neighborhoods, look at these gorgeous homes. I would go to a Mercedes dealer just to check out the new cars. Later, I was able to buy my first Benz and get a nice, good lifestyle. Let's leave it at that. I don't mean to brag, but I want to share with you that you can quickly turn this around. It took me 10 months. From the sleeping in the car to living in my condo, my first Benz and the trip to Italy and all that stuff took 10 months. That's how long it took me to shift the focus, expectations, and beliefs. You can do it a lot faster. I'm not the fastest learner. But that's the mindset. That's the founding. That's the foundation. If you're building on sand, you're going to work with discipline and you're going to push yourself and it's going to be a grind and it's going to collapse, which were my first 2 years in the business. If you set this nice foundation of good focus, good expectations, and good beliefs, and start collecting evidence, there's plenty of business around me. Other agents are making it. It is not that complicated. This business is not easy by any stretch of imagination, but it's not hard. You can do this. It requires some tools, it requires some knowledge, it requires some persistence, but you can pull it off. Other people are doing it all day long. There's so much evidence right here on Rockstars. If you start shifting and feeding that engine with the stuff that supports your focus and expectations and beliefs of good stuff, money, success, there is absolutely no reason why you couldn't get there. There being wherever you want to be. Camelot Island, good life, boats, cars, houses, everything. Now you're building on a solid foundation. Does that make sense, you guys? Is that helpful? I know that's not really what I wanted to talk about, but you can see how without this, you're misguided by a glitch in your operating system. And no app will work and nothing will work on your computer unless you solve this first and you fix this. So if you're not financially and business-wise where you want to be, this is the first problem, and it's usually the biggest problem. Is the operating code of your focus, your expectations, and your beliefs. Okay? Okay, you guys like it. Good. Very helpful, says Jennifer. Excellent. Anthony says, thank you so much for your answers. It's shocking how much you have felt and understand. You have the most generous person of anyone I've seen in your role. Well, thank you, Anthony. I appreciate it. I give from the heart, guys. I had this conversation, when was it? Tuesday. No, yesterday, Thursday. I had an implementation session. Whenever you get one of my systems, you and I will get together and implement whatever system you get from me. I'll help you build it. And somebody says, dude, you give so much stuff away for free. And I tell you why I do that. And I do give away, like the Video Plus. I don't know if you saw it. There are 4 videos straight from the course. I just ripped them out of the course and says, hey, watch this. This is good stuff. If you haven't come on board, by the way, the URL, let me show it to you real quick, because I think it's really good. A lot of you guys are already part of the Video Plus, and I love it. And I appreciate the feedback, and I'm starting to see the videos you're starting to make, so it's really good. It's a really good course. I'm very proud of it. Anyway, the reason I give you a lot is because you know what inspires me, what drives me? Your success. The stories where you put, hey, just got another FSBO, just got another expired, or we're going on vacation, or we got this, we got... Gail posted recently, got like over 100 referrals already this year. That's awesome. That makes me so happy. Not that there are no trials and tribulations. Of course there are challenges, and share those because we're here to help you. But notice how nicely it is balanced between the obstacles you have to overcome and the good stuff you have. That's what makes it awesome. So now, let's talk about number 2 on my list. Kim says, I love this. I need to change my mindset. Yes, Kim. And there are several tools and people and resources around you that will help you. Read some good books. I have a list of them there. I can repost them again. One of the best things you can do is saturate your mind with good stuff. So the videos you watch, the music you listen to, the people you talk to, the books you read, all that has a huge impact. It's just like when you're cooking a meal. Like I said earlier, if you put a chicken in it, it's not going to come out a steak. So if you feed yourself with garbage, what do you expect to get out of life and out of the experience? On the other hand, if you feed yourself with positive stuff, good examples, upbeat people, it's going to come back. It has to. It's a law. That's how the universe is set up. And you can use whatever label you're comfortable with, but the principles stay the same. You with me? Okay. So now, market is dry. You don't have 15, 20 expireds to go after every day. A lot of FSBOs are selling on their own. High probability leads, not a huge numbers. Sellers think they own a castle. Meanwhile, it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,200 square foot tract home. All right? So after you shift the mindset, after you work on your mindset, go see Tony Robbins, read some book, do all that stuff that it takes. Do what it takes to change the FEB. What do? How do you go about it? And I'm going to give you first simple advice, and you go, what? After all this positive stuff, you tell me that? As a general rule, if you're in a market that sucks, change markets. If it's really hard, if there are not enough people who want to move, if it's really tough for you to get traction, and if it's clear and obvious that the market is not vibrant, that there are not a lot of people that move, don't do it the hard way. Change. Think about it. Would you open a steakhouse in an area that has nothing but vegetarians? That would be a hard sell. Now you may convert a few, but your business is going to struggle. So you want to set up an environment where it's conducive to profits. So if your area long-term, obviously, if it's not just a swing, is really hard, gated communities, hard to reach people, difficult, not enough volume, then bail. There is no magic answer that will suddenly make good leads and good clients appear. If they're not there, they're not there. Even my system, which I think is good, it's really good, is not going to help you. If the people are not there, you understand what I'm saying? So be deliberate about how strategically you can position your business in an area where it's easier, where there is business, there is opportunities, there are leads, there are clients, there is money. Now, I know this is not the positive, upbeat message you want to hear, but that's reality. You're running a business, so run it as a business. And where you're located physically, now I'm not saying you got to move to Canada or Australia or Czechoslovakia. But I'm saying do some analysis, do some soul searching, and ask yourself, is this really the best environment for my business? Am I really optimizing the opportunities? And if the answer is no, get the hell out of there. Okay? Okay. Now, if you feel like, no, there are some opportunities, I just need to be more strategic about it, then I'm going to give you some strategies that will help you. Number one strategy I'm going to give you is make the best with what you have. But that also means make the fucking best with what you have. So that means if you have 5 expireds, you better go after them with everything you got. The heaviest firepower you can pull. If you have 5 for sell by owners, you better have a chance to have a conversation with every single one of them. You got to do your best. Remember the rule I always tell you. Number 1 Borino rule. Do the best you can with what you have. But the word best is always bigger and bold because it means do your best with what you have. That means you cannot casually just treat these expires. Well, if I reach them, fine. If not, no big deal. No. A game. A game, motherfucker. You really have to step it up. Do your best with what you got. Because here's the thing. Those FSBOs you have, those expireds you have, some of them will end up listing with an agent. Why not you? What is it about that other agent who gets it that you don't deliver? And I tell you what it is. You know the answer 100% of the time? They trust and like the other agent more. That's the bottom line. Now you can tell me stories and you can tell yourself stories, but you know deep inside that the truth is they liked the other agent and trusted the other agent in their mind was a better choice. Now you need to decipher why. What is it about you that didn't click with the seller? Fix it. That's the cool thing about real estate. That's the cool thing about this business. That's the cool thing about what I teach you is it's all duplicatable. I mean, use me as your example. If this guy from Czechoslovakia with this accent made it and figured it out and is able to now teach thousands and thousands of you, no reason why you couldn't. Absolutely no reason. And whatever reason you have is bullshit. And you can fix it. Mindset first, change markets if you have to, and then just give it your best. So what I mean by give it your best, that means you deliver the best first contact because majority of your success depends on the first few seconds of interaction with your prospects. Because it's within those first 4 seconds they instantly create an opinion about you, and this happens unconsciously, remember the unconscious stuff? And it happens automatically. It's not like they sit there with the checklist and they go, all right, so let's evaluate John here. John's suit, I like that, honey. Did you like his suit? Yes, it was good. And he was pretty confident, and I like the car he drove. Yes, he's been in the business for 5 years, so we'll give him a plus for that. They don't do that. You know what I mean? That's not what's happening. What's really happening is they look at you, they look at each other, their instinct kicks in, and they either feel yes, maybe, or no. And you get categorized in one of the 3 almost instantly. And here's the thing. Sometimes they don't know consciously what's happening. Sometimes you're not aware. And then you follow up with them, and they give you very kind of aloof answers. Either they don't answer the call, or they tell you, well, we're not ready, we're going to go to the previous agent, we don't know what we're going to do. What they're really telling is, we don't like you, we don't trust you, we didn't connect with you. We don't feel you're the best choice. So fix that. Role play. Have a good expired package ready. Know how to approach for sell by owners. Understand the difference between expireds and FSBOs. FSBOs is a very different animal, requires a very different approach. And then deliver your A game. Because your success, if you screw it up at the end, now don't get the listing at the end, very often is what happened at the beginning. No connection, not enough trust. Okay? So deliver your A game. You have to be more consistent. If the number of listings go down, the opportunities to take listings go down, That means if I go to an expired listing, knock on the door, leave the package there, nobody's home, I would go back that night. I would go back on the weekend, and I would keep trying. I would not give up as easily as most of my competition. I will be more persistent. I will stay longer with it. I will try more often than everybody else. That's how you got to win. You got to do what it takes. Not what's comfortable, not what's convenient, not what you think. It is not about your thinking, it's about what works. And if you're not getting the results you're doing, it's time to step it up. More persistency. Better follow-up. You must have a better follow-up. You're losing tons of business. I bet you if we go lead by lead by lead, opportunity by opportunity by opportunity, the two trouble areas we would identify immediately, one would be first contact, poor first impression, and the other one will be follow-up. Those would be the two troubled areas immediately. So here, you got to fix your CRM. It needs to be an autopilot. You got to change your frequency. That means you got to follow up more often. And the quality must be good. Quality of your follow-up must increase. That's how you smoke your competition. Because here's the thing. Even if you have 5 expired listings, somebody's going to list them. Somebody's going to get them. And it's going to be the person with a good first impression and a good follow-up every single time. That's how it works. So evaluate your first impression. Am I really high status? Record yourself. Put yourself on video. Record yourself. How do you come across? Confident, high status, pleasant, enjoying it, passionate, or needy, desperate, nervous, insecure? Who wants to work with an agent like that? Fix that. Follow-up. Evaluate your follow-up. Are you losing business? Do you have leads? Speaking from experience. I'm like, oh, that's my lead. Fuck me. Coldwell Banker sign. There goes another $8,000. Poor follow-up. So you got to fix your follow-up, okay? Use a good CRM, look into Realty Juggler, Lion Desk, bunch of others. Evaluate the pieces that go, how often do you follow up with people? If it takes you more than 14 days to follow up with somebody, they forgot all about you. Don't kid yourself. People are busy, people are distracted, they have other things on their mind. Even if you're as handsome as me. You know what I mean? They forget. So you got to stay on top of it. You got to remind them. I'd rather follow up too much than lose a listing. And then the quality of the follow-up. It cannot be me. We are number one. Nobody gives a shit. Make it about them. Groovy? All right. Next thing that will help you is better listing presentation. That'll be the next trouble area. Listing presentation. So first contact, first impression, follow-up, and a presentation. It breaks my heart when I see you work your ass off. You finally get to the point where follow up, boom, you get an appointment. And then you're not going to get the listing and some Joe Schmo down the street picks it up. All that effort, all that time, all that money, everything for nada. Because this business pays zero. It's either you win or you lose. Whether you're second, third, fourth, doesn't matter. And I wish there was some nice Band-Aid I can put on that wound. No. There's no Band-Aid. You either got it or you didn't. And the way you get them is you have to have a rocking listing presentation. Because if the market is dry and if you don't have that many opportunities, you really got to deliver the best you got. And make sure that sucker is priced right, you market the shit out of it, it's good commission, the sellers are happy with your performance. And that leads me to the next point. You know how you're going to get the most referrals and why referrals are important? Because over 40% of the listings in the US are a result of referrals. 42%. More than any other source of business, referrals. You know the number one secret to get referrals is do a great job for your existing clients. Help them. Be really cool. Keep in touch. Keep them informed. Deliver. Be always 100% honest with them. High status agent. That's the secret. More than drip campaigns, more than any other bullshit, is do a really good job. Develop a reputation of a total rock star. Gail, Jessica, Nick, Tristan, I mean, I can go through a list of thousands of you guys who are awesome agents. The reason you have that reputation because you deliver, first and foremost. Yes, you need systems. Yes, it helps to have all that, like send-out cards and social media and all that. I'm a big believer in all that. But the foundation, again, on which it lays is deliver a great service. Make sure your clients are happy. Make sure your clients appreciate what you do for them. Groovy? Now, When it comes to FSBOs and expireds, make sure you use the tools so the playing field is even. In other words, if your competition is using a good data source, and the one I recommend I like is Espresso Agent. We are affiliated with Espresso Agent. If you use the code Borino, they'll give you a test drive for $29 the first month. I think it's a really good tool. Not only because it will make you more efficient and faster and you will reach more people as a result, but that's what your competition is using. You want to have the same advantage and access to the same stuff they have. So if you don't have a whole lot of sellers, use the tools. The better the tool and the more you use it, the better results you're going to get. Okay? Now, in addition to FSBOs and expires, there are only so many right now. And I get that. Work the ones you have. Many of them will end up being listings. 71% of FSBOs end up listing with an agent according to FSBOR. That's a huge number. So don't buy into the stories, oh, they don't sell, they don't list, they don't do bullshit. Work them. Follow the system. Get the FSBOrino if you don't have it. That will walk you through it. It works. Okay? Now, in addition to FSBOs and expireds, you never kill these systems. You never stop working it. You're just going to work with what you have. You're going to do other stuff. Now, here's what other stuff means. Number one, contact every lead you already have. But I talked to them 3 weeks ago and they said this and that. Don't buy into the stories. Life changes, things change, circumstances change. Another agent is going for that listing. Nurture that relationship. Going back to this, good follow-up. Keep in touch with your leads. Make it simple, easy, conversational, nice and pleasant. But keep in touch with the leads you have. You worked your butt off to get them. Don't drop the ball on them. If you need to fix your follow-up, it's only 3 parts. CRM setup, frequency setup, and quality of the follow-up setup. The FSBOrino has a follow-up. The Expired Plus has a follow-up. Okay. Add more funnels. If you need to add more funnels, if you're not generating enough leads to get you to where you need to be, you're going to add more funnels to generate good quality seller leads. Seller leads. You heard me right. Don't waste your time and money on generating buyer leads. They will come naturally, and many of your sellers will be buyers. Many of the buyers will turn into sellers. So let's say you need to generate 2 quality leads a day. You work 5 days a week, so that's 10 leads per week. That's your goal. 10 leads a week. That's part of your business plan, to generate 10 quality, high probability leads. And let's say out of the FSBOs and expireds, you generate 5, half, per week. So you still need 5. So what other funnels would I recommend you set up? First, set up a good referral system. Now, this is not about dripping on people. You know what I mean? Drip campaign is not a follow-up. Drip campaign is not a strategy. Drip campaign is a tool that's part of the strategy. And it can be extremely profitable. But the referrals is nothing but building connections, organic one-on-one connections. Remember the post I posted earlier on Rockstars? It's a quote by my buddy Ryan Dice, very successful businessman, very successful guy running several big companies. The future is in one-on-one interactions. That's the future. The future of referrals, the secret to good referrals is nurturing those connections you already have. Think about it this way. According to the United States Census Bureau, 12% of Americans will move in the next 12 months. These statistics have not changed in the last 4 or 5 years. Every year, about 12% of us move. So the people around you can be a phenomenal source of additional business. But you work it as a system. You have a referral system. That means social media, cards, conversations, coffees, doing a good job for your existing clients and nurturing those relationships. The barista in Starbucks is either a potential client or he or she knows somebody. The guy that cuts your lawn, your dentist, everybody around you is either a potential client or they know somebody. Nurture those. It can be a gold mine, as Gail, who is a ninja when it comes to referrals, will confirm. Just check out on Listing University the recording I did with her. We did 3 sessions. How she does that. She's crushing it. All right? The next funnel in the referrals I would add is direct mail. Very few agents do it well. Very few. I hardly ever see an agent do direct mail well. One of the best things you can do is use I have a buyer letter. It is in the files. If you go to the files in the Rockstars, just check it out. Modify it, use it. Works really, really well. Direct mail is really good, not just with referrals, You can send cold direct mail, follow up with phone calls, with door knocking, promote your open house, connect with people around you. It can be terrific. Direct mail is awesome. I'm a big fan of good direct mail. Next funnel I would add is do one good open house every weekend. Now again, your focus, your target is not buyers, but sellers in the area, or buyers who need to sell something before they can buy, or people who want to buy that particular listing. That's it. Everybody else gets referred. You don't want to waste too much time with buyers. But one good open house that you promote well, you run a little ad on Facebook maybe, do a little promotion, pass some flyers, talk to some neighbors, use a bunch of signs, make it a cool event, use a guest register, qualify everybody, can get you a couple, 2, 3 really good leads every week, minimum, if you do it right, okay? So I would add an open house to the mix. And then, if you have the budget for it, online. Specifically Facebook right now can be a good source if you set it up right. My man John Poley has tons of good resources. He's here right on Rockstars. Connect with him, look him up. He's got plenty of good information for you to get you started on Facebook. Even on a small budget, you can do small little ads. Either promote your listing or attract sellers, attract buyers, if that's what you want. You shouldn't, but that's what I'm saying, okay? You do these funnels, you're in business. You don't need more. And it's not super expensive. Yes, it's going to take some money. I mean, you're running a business after all. That's like having a restaurant or a car shop. It's going to take a little bit of investment, but not huge. The biggest investment is your time and the knowledge. And you're rocking it, okay? So that's my plan. That's my suggestion to you. Add these to your funnel, work it diligently, work it well, master it. That's the knowledge part, and just take action. With the right mindset, you're in green. No question about it. All right? Groovy. So I answered that. And don't waste your time with rentals, says Kenneth. That's a good point. I don't recommend spending a lot of time on rentals or buyers. But I need to clarify something because you've heard me talk about it many, many times. Buyers can drive you crazy. They will waste tons of your... It's not that it's not enjoyable. I get the enjoyment of it. I've had first-time buyers where they were so excited and we were looking for the perfect house and we found it and they were all joy and they invited me to dinner to their house and all that great. But if you add up all that fucking time it takes, it's a horrible, horrible investment of your time. And your time is the most precious asset you have. It is the most important thing in your business, is your time. Because that's the only thing that cannot be replaced. You can replenish money, you can replace clients, you can do all that. But the time, once it's gone, it's gone. So you must be very vigilant. That's why the first session of our boot camp on Wednesday was all about time management, how to stay focused, how to be productive, and how to manage your time. So working with buyers and working with rentals can really suck up a bunch of your time. And if you start adding up how much per hour you really earn based on that transaction, you're going to pull your hair out. So it's a losing proposition. So here's what I propose. Find a really good agent who is really good with buyers. And then you can have an official agreement with them. You can have a contract if you want to. That's up to you. And then you start feeding them all the buyers. All the buyers that you're going to get. Few good listings will attract naturally a lot of good buyers. Now that agent will report back to you because that client is still your client and you make it very clear with the other agent that these are your clients. The other agent will only get paid to help find the right house and put the deal together. You will still oversee the whole thing. Why? Because that client, if you as a team will do a good job for them, not only will become a seller, but they can refer other people to you. One transaction can result in another 3 or 4 if you do it right. So they're still yours. You're not giving them away. You just have a manager manage that part of finding them the house and doing all that legwork for you. But you still follow up with them. You still nurture the connection. You stay abreast. You stay up to date what's going on. And you will see something very interesting. Out of the 10 buyers you're going to send to the buyer's agent, you will be shocked if more than 2 or 3, maybe, will buy and close something. But here's the best part of this model. Those 2 and 3, you're going to get paid a nice referral fee for 0 hours invested. But those 7, you wasted 0 minutes. So it's a win-win. You don't waste time with those who don't buy, and you still get paid from those who do. You still keep the clients. You don't lose in this model. You with me? It's a genius model. You should absolutely implement it. You don't need to have an in-house buyer's agent. If you have volume enough to support that, then absolutely, that's a better way to go. But even if you just have a few buyers, set up a nice relationship with somebody you can trust. And I guarantee you in every market, there is 1 or 2 agents who are very good with buyers who would love to have an opportunity to help them. That's who you want. And you focus 100% of your effort, time, and energy on listings. Does that make sense? All right. Corey says, thank you. My pleasure. Tom has a fantastic questions. With so many agents calling expireds now, do you like sending them a mail piece first, then call? And the answer is no. I do not like sending them something. Here's why, Tom. By the time the mail gets there, they have been bombarded by a bunch of bad agents, and there were probably 1 or 2, most likely my students, who made a good first impression. Those will be the agents who will have the best chance to get the listing. So by the time you hope and wait that out of the pile of mail they're going to get, you're going to stand out. And when you call, they go, Tom, I'm so glad you called. You know that postcard that you sent us? That just warmed our heart. And Martha and I couldn't wait for you to call us. Come on down and list our house. Really? You know what I mean? So you got to be on top of your game. Be one of the first ones, if not the first one to call. Be one of the first ones, or if not the first one, to knock on their door. Be the first one to have a conversation with them. Be the first one to list that house. Don't use marketing as an excuse for not doing your job. Your job is to call them as early as possible, connect with them, visit them, build trust and connection with them, and list them. That's the whole secret. And your monkey brain will tell you, no, let's just send them something first because it's more comfortable. Here's the problem, Tom. You and everybody else has. You are running your business based on emotions. You are running your business based on what you think feels better. It's safer. Bad idea. Do it based on what is the most effective, most profitable way I can do this. And that is, you call them first, talk to them if you can. If you can't, jump in a car, go knock on the door, have a little conversation with them. Find a time where you have the best chance of reaching them at home. That's the secret. Yes, the mail is part of it. Absolutely. The package is part of it. Totally. If they're not there, you're going to leave it there and you're going to mail them something once in a while. Sometimes you don't have a chance to talk to them. No phone number, no email, no other channels to communicate. That's where the mail kicks in and you follow up. Remember what we talked about. But there are better methods that can get you there faster. And that's how rock stars do it. Make sense? You don't want to wait for scraps. Or worse, you don't want to wait for them to call you. Doesn't work that way. Because between the choice that the seller faces is go through all the marketing and all the messages and all the phone calls and pick 1 or 2 agents that they want to talk to, as opposed to somebody who shows up, who is pleasant, who is different, who's authentic, who says, you know what, let me take care of it. I'll get rid of all this noise and all this people who bother you, and we'll take care of the house. They'll be like, oh, thank God, so much better. You understand what I'm saying? You can be that agent. You should be that agent. I will train you and help you be that agent. Cool? All right. Hope that answered your question, Tom. Tarun, hey, my man Tarun would like to know when and where is the boot camp. Can I get more details, please? We are in the middle of one right now. There'll be another one towards the end of the year, Tarun. If you want, you can sign up for a waiting list. If you go to goborino.com, there's a link on the bottom. You can sign up for a waiting list. We'd love to talk to you about it. You can buy it right now. It's not for sale. You can just register. All right? Tom says, great information. Thank you. I'm going to join the Expired Plus. We'd love to have you, Tom. What will happen is go to expiredplus.com. You're going to get a package from us in the mail. There's a whole bunch of stuff online. And then you and I will work on it. We'll have an implementation session. You'll be part of the listing universe. There's all kinds of stuff. Okay? Maria says, when is the next boot camp? That's a good question, Maria. We don't have one scheduled yet. My guess is it's going to be sometime end of October. That's what it looks like right now. You know, we were so busy with the Video Plus that everything else got put on hold. Even you guys who emailed me, some of you emailed me like a month ago and I still have responded. And I so apologize for that. I'm going through my inbox. I'm reaching out, talking to people. So please bear with me, okay? All right. Renzo says, can you talk about creating websites? I know a section should be dedicated to buyers and other to sellers. However, should you make a whole other URL for just buyers and sellers and then market that? I wouldn't, Renzo. That's a good question. Have a nice professional website. Have a section for buyers, have a section for sellers. Have some testimonials on it, describe some of the stuff you do for buyers and sellers, Share with them a little bit about yourself, who you are. Video is really good for that, by the way. You don't need to overthink it. It doesn't need to be elaborate. You don't need to have 50 pages there, but something like good testimonials and something that proves to the person who's there, either validating their decision or just looking for an agent, is good enough. There are a lot of companies who will do it. We don't have a relationship with one because there are several who do a really good job, but it is essential for you to have not just the company branded website, but website just yours. You know how you have Keller Williams / and then the agent's name. That's fine. But you need to have your own place where you can highlight and showcase who you are, what you do, and, this is the most important part, why I should trust you. And this is the part that very often is missing from a website. That means a good picture, contact information, a little bit about you, very little, some testimonials. If you have current listings, you know the worst part is, you go to a website of an agent and it says, my current listings, and there is 1 or 0, even worse. That's bad. Kill that part of the website if you don't have inventory. You want to have 3, 4, 5 or more good listings to showcase there. Recent sales, same thing. A nice list. Most importantly, client testimonials. Validation, third-party validation should be a big part of your marketing. It's a big part of the Video Plus too, where I teach you how to record 30, 45 seconds, a minute long testimonials with your clients. Huge, powerful thing. Okay? Was that helpful, my good people? Excellent. So all the questions are answered. You guys gonna crush it. You can have a good time. Don't start buying into this whole bad market, bad time, bad this, bad that. Because that's going to go back to the beginning, focus, expectations, and beliefs. You're going to get more of that. You're going to feed it more energy and more attention. Of course it's going to come back to you. So shifting the mindset to abundance. Reading stories about millionaires. This is one of my favorite things to do, is reading books about people who succeeded big time. Like I have one I just got from Roseanne. I can show you about Steve Jobs. And you know me, I'm a big fan of Steven, so I look forward to reading it. I haven't gotten to it yet. But that's uplifting. My kids, I bought them last week. I bought them the chicken soup for Teenage Soul, and they're so inspired by it. They just finished a book reading about a guy who walked the Appalachian Trail, who did the whole 6 months, 2,000-mile journey. I'm very diligent about feeding their mind with the right stuff because that's what I expect to get out. And I do the same. We don't have a regular television feed here. You guys know that. We only watch Netflix. And we watch movies, DVDs. That's it. I haven't seen news in years. I'm not missing anything other than the bad news. You know, what goes in will come out. I guess that's the message today. Not exactly what we originally wanted to talk about, but it's all part of it. It's all one big thing. Helpful? Do you know what to do? Can you have a really good weekend? Can you go out there, connect with some for sale by owners, with some expireds, with some of your clients? The weather is lovely. Go have a barbecue, invite people to your home. Go meet some people for coffee. We have all the phenomenal tools and resources, whole bunch. But at the end, it's one human being connecting with another human being. One human being having an expertise and ability to help another human being. If I'm hurting, I go to see a doctor because they know how to fix it. If my car is broken, I got a flat tire the other day. I got a big-ass nail in my tire. I went to a tire shop and the guy was really cool, took it off, checked the problem, fixed it. Cost me 25 bucks. They knew how to do it. I had no clue how to do it. You know what I mean? I will gladly pay for them to fix my problem. You can fix a whole bunch of people's problems. You develop a connection, you develop a trust, and then you deliver. Overpricing the listing, Tom, is not delivering a good service. Nobody wins in that situation. Right mindset, right tools, persistence, stay with it. Was that helpful, my friends? Thanks for being here on this special Friday. We'll be back to our regular scheduled time on Tuesday next week. Same thing. I'm going to answer your questions. We're going to talk about some interesting topics. I invite you, come join us. The special is ending on Sunday night on the Video Plus. If you haven't checked it out, go to realestatevideoplus.com. It is the most complete, the biggest program and the most impactful program I could come up for you guys, in addition to the expireds and FSBOs and the presentation and all that other stuff I have. Video is the way it's going to go. Video is the way it's already going. You're watching a video right now. Have your clients watch videos about you, with you, solving their problem, connecting with them. It is a phenomenal tool, and it's just getting bigger. You saw that quote from Gary Vaynerchuk? Video #1 tool. Josh, Josh Flagg, the star of $1 Million Listing. Video, 40% more leads because of video. Facebook is pushing video like crazy. Everybody's talking about video. It is the way it's going to go. Don't let your competition stomp over you because they grabbed this opportunity before you. That's why I put it together for you. I make it easy. I make it simple. You can be up and running, having your first video in 24 hours. Come aboard, join me. It's a really good program. We have a special. You get 3 months of Listing University, which is like Netflix of real estate. Tons of good coaching, tons of resources. You can have it for 3 months. You can binge on it all you want. There's a whole bunch of stuff there. And you're going to get that special private session I did for my core influence clients here in DC, where you spend an entire day working on influencing people, the right mindset, the right language, getting more business. As a result, you're being able to influence other people. Ethically, of course. So that whole session we recorded. We had a professional video crew recording it, and you will be able to see that. It's all part of the package. That bonus is going away Sunday. So jump on it. We're going to ship you the books. They're coming next week, so you're going to get that. But the online access is instant. Hit me up. All right, friends? Thank you for being here today. Hope you enjoyed as much as I did. I always like these. I love talking with you guys, and I enjoyed making you better. If there's anything I can do, just reach out and let me know. Post it right here on Rockstars or email, call us. Send pigeons if you have them. I'll talk to you real soon. Have a fantastic, productive, profitable weekend. And I'll see you on Tuesday. Coach Borino signing off. Let's go get him. Bye, everybody.